In this episode, we're going to Fangorn Forest, where we're going to see an animated Treebeard and Gandalf the White's reveal.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AsArt with Nick, John, and expert Kyle. Check out AsArt. That's basically the audio, video links to all the different content we have. Check out Picos with the zero follow of Kyle's Instagram artwork. And let's go ahead and dig into angry Treebeard and everything, and white Gandalf, whatever.
Just so you guys know, this is one part of an amazing series of us diving into the animated Lord of the Rings and comparing it to the live action. It's been so much fun, to creepy walk cycles, to Aragorn going, ah!
Speaking of one other little side note about Aragorn, did you know that John Hurt did the voice for Aragorn? I had forgotten that. And John Hurt, one of my favorite voices in movies, definitely bummed we don't have him around anymore. But yeah, I forgot that's Aragorn.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right, we have a comment from Braxton Willis on the video for Boromir's Death, animated Lord of the Rings versus live action. He says, yes, another Bakshi Lord of the Ring breakdown. I absolutely love these. Honestly, out of all the content we've done on this channel, I think this has been our favorite series as well. We've done a slow progression through these and a lot of installations, I think, for an obvious reason, but it's just so much fun.
Okay, so Treebeard, oh my gosh. I was like, wait, are we watching a Bugs Bunny cartoon with his walk cycle? I'm like, with the lean forward, and like I noticed his toes were like digging into the ground. I'm like, this is freaking amazing, but does it match with the other animation styles?
You know, well, okay, well, does it match with the other animation styles? I mean, no, because a lot of them are rotoscopes, right? And Treebeard is a giant tree man thing. Like, then again, I don't know. Maybe they had someone in like a huge bulky suit, but I mean, doubt it.
The Balrog.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, this looked like this walk cycle of his was like really good.
Yeah, I loved it. Oh, I was like, I wish like we saw that like in the live action, like digging into the ground, like he has to get like energy from the ground before he can take another step. Like, you know, his power comes from the soil.
Well, you know what? What reminded me looking at Treebeard in this, and then obviously, like you guys are saying about the roto for everything else, or all the humanoid bipedal characters, it reminds me of a Frank Frazetta, another Ralph Bakshi Frank Frazetta. It's called Fire and Ice. Yep. And in that, they also use a lot of roto, or at least real life animated reference. But the creatures like the quadrupeds or things like that, they needed to animate just by their head. I thought those things animated a lot cooler and had a more animated, stylized feel to them. And that's what I got from Treebeard, is I actually enjoyed the non-real look to it. And that's because they didn't use roto for this.
Yeah, it was just good old hand-drawn animation. And then since we're still in Fangorn Forest, let's talk about Gandalf the White's reveal.
Oh yeah.
This is one of my favorite moments in the whole. I just love how there's like a rock perfectly centered for his stage, for his reveal. And I just like, I loved the whole movement, like his cape getting stuck on his head for a moment before.
That cracked me up so basic. Gandalf the White.
It's like they decided to keep it after the first take. They're like, we're not shooting.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We got it.
The budget.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying. It's like, they're like, another take? Let's just go.
It works.
You know, I think my favorite depiction of the reveal of the Gandalf the White is actually a painting by the Hildebrandt brothers. And if you guys haven't seen that, look it up in Google. I mean, just Hildebrandt brothers, Hildebrandt, I think it is, and just Gandalf the White. It's just such a cool, the lighting and the reference and the color palette is really, really cool. But
I'll have to check that out.
Man, I'm so used to Gandalf that I'm used to seeing in the live action movies, and I'm like, that's Gandalf, right? It's the same thing as King Theoden. It's like he looks a lot different than what I'm used to, but it's an interesting thing.
So I kind of had a thought on that, was that especially in the films we see because you know each director has different interpretations, brings out different aspects of the character, right? And in the Jackson Lord of the Rings, he is very much Gandalf the Wizard. Remember, he is not human. Yeah. He is Istari, right? And that's sort of on display. He's an otherworldly being, right? Sent to shepherd the races of Middle Earth, right? And in the animation though, he's more like he's very human, right? And he's more like the Gray Pilgrim, right? Like sort of that personality. Like he's almost like a family uncle or grandparent that's playing a trick on the children, right? Like he's kind of like, I got you, haha. And that's, you know, I thought it was at least a little bit sweet in that sense, but it wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's on our team to take down the Dark Lord.
Can you take down the Dark Lord if you can't take off your cloak? I don't know.
We're gonna talk about it later, but this wizard loves to just throw swords up in the air.
The valiant friends of Frodo. As their gallant battle ended, so too ends the first great tale of the Lord of the Rings.
Like around his buddies, we're like, we don't know where they're gonna land. You know, this is the Gandalf the White.
I mean, everything about that scene is tit for tat, almost the exact same as the movies, right? He's, you know, the party sees him as a potential threat and a stranger at the beginning. He casts down their weapons through fire or force or whatever, and then you know, everyone rejoices when they find out it's actually Gandalf, and then. After that, after the reveal, he regales them about his story with the Balrog. Right? What happened.
And I had forgotten, honestly, that sequence talking about the Balrog. It was just interesting. It was just kind of still images, pan and scanned around. And
beautiful
I forgot
images,
about that.
though, huh? Those painted images were awesome.
It looked very much like, was it John Howe? I can't remember who painted some really cool depictions of the bridge when Gandalf's fighting the Balrog. But it had that same kind of red and blue color palette that I was remembering, but I couldn't tell the actual artwork. But yeah, it was really, really cool images.
I paused the stills of those paintings because like when I was looking at them, I took the interpretation of Gandalf's phrase of the living earth, like literally in a thematic sense rather than like a realistic one, right? Like because you saw these different forms writhing in the earth, right? Like humanoid looking forms and bestial forms, right? And I was like, that's crazy. And it also drove home the point because I never made this connection before. So apparently but the animation did it well, is that Gandalf, I believe in some sort of esoteric sense or hermetic sense, is fighting the Balrog through different planes of existence, right? That are parallel to Middle Earth, right? Which also enacts his transformation, right? Is that he passes through these different planes, right? And it was really cool. I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I guess so. He's very much the wizard, and he has to do that in order to level up, so to speak.
Yeah, you're right. Until we got that scenery of him being in completely different places, I didn't think about that because I love that scene at the beginning of, well, when you get Gandalf the White in the live action. I love that flashback where he's fighting the Balrog and then smite him down on the mountainside. You know, like I love that. But this had a cool, like he's just wandering through this like other parallel world or whatever. It was a cool depiction. I love the trippy stuff about this animated Lord of the Rings. It's just really fun.
I like it when they go trippy, and I'm like, I like it when they lean into it. You know, like
lean into the trippiness. Talk about trippy. Let's talk about Grima Wormtongue brushing the king's hair and his beard.
Actually. Yeah, okay, so yeah, sure, we can talk about that. He was really creepy. But I gotta say, I gotta point out, this is one of the tidbits that I absolutely loved. Whoever did the composition for that shot when the party first comes into the hall, Theoden's hall. We get a shot. It's top down of Éowyn, Theoden, and Grima, right? And you have Éowyn at the top, right? Yeah. She's and like
just
she's sort of
into weird,
right? But she's at the top, and like she's in light colors, and it's like she exemplifies the high ideals and like loyalty of Rohan, right? And then you have Grima down at the bottom, sitting on the steps, right? Sort of hunched over, dressed in black. You can't even see his form really because of the cloak, right? And then Theoden is in the middle between those two forces, right? Which is very representative of what's going on currently with him being enthralled, right? So I thought that was like, I was like, whoever did that shot, genius.
Yeah,
that
is
perfect.
Cool. That is really cool. I didn't even think about that, but that goes back to a lot of classic art. Before you even got perspective, they would always just, whatever's at the highest part in the frame, religious art could usually be Jesus, and then you would have things like importance, and it's not only that, like you said, being torn between the two, but you have the high ideals, like you said, at the top of the frame, and that's cool. I didn't even think about that when I saw it, but that is, I love that subliminal type of stuff, and they are able to integrate that in. That's cool. Good point. Expert Kyle.
Also, when the spell is broken. Kyle. Well, one of my
That's right.
one of my favorite
Okay,
one of my
okay.
favorite tropes is when an old king yells for his armor. Okay, like,
Yeah.
it's a very specific trope, but it's really great. Like basically, like he's the spell has been broken, and he's beginning to go out with the party, and he goes, "My armor!" Like,
My armor!
I'm like, "Fuck yeah, we're doing it! Like, let's do it!" Like, you know.
Yeah, that actor, even later on when we talk about Helm's Deep stuff, he really got into it, that actor with the rotoscoping. So,
Yeah.
I just want to say, good job, buddy. Like, we
You
don't
know
know
what? If
who
you're
you
playing
are.
an animated
but-
character, you might as well be animated. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, come on.
Agreed. Agreed.
He could have transferred some of that energy to Man Bear Pig Balrog, you know, in one of the other episodes. Yeah.
He was a little stiff because I think it was the costume that was slowing him down. You know what I
I
mean?
love that Balrog. With the,
Also, I
yeah.
gotta ask you guys. You guys catch the
Mhm.
the colorist inconsistency on
Ooh.
the shot? 1 hour 45 minutes and 49 seconds thereabouts. Gandalf is colored in his old colors as Gandalf
Gray?
the Grey. Yep.
Oh,
For one shot, it's
interesting.
where they're running towards the door of the hall, basically, right? And then when they enter, he's in white again, right? So I'm like,
I wonder if they were
interesting.
going for like the live action thing where he has like a gray cloak on and then he reveals himself.
No, because in the preceding scene, he's still white.
Yeah, but you know, production, the budget was low. They were running around.
Right. No. I know. That's the thing. I was just like, you know, like.
No,
I
it's true,
I just
though. Good eye,
imagined
good
in my
eye.
head like someone just got the wrong notes or something, right?
Which
like the wrong
happens.
color.
It happens all the
Yeah.
time. Like even in movies, like they hand him a different sword, or you know, he didn't have the sword in the last shot or whatever. And it's
That's
all
true.
over the Lord of the Rings live action too. There's so many mistakes,
Yeah.
which makes it
Yeah.
so much fun.
Well, it's in a movie at least. Shots go like Kyle said. I didn't catch it because it goes by so quick. A lot of inconsistencies in a lot of movies, but it go by so quick. Whereas I remember there's an old Star Wars book that I read way back when. I didn't even think of it when I was reading it, but people are like, "Yeah, they go on for it." This is all after the original Star Wars trilogy. They're like, they go on for a number of paragraphs talking about Luke's blue lightsaber, and someone pointed out on like forums way back when they're like, "Dude, he had a green lightsaber by that point." I was just like, "Oh, that's so hilarious." They published a book that's still in publication, and they had the wrong lightsaber color. I'm like, "Oh, that's funny." But yeah, that stuff happens. I mean, they have on set people's dedicated job is just trying to keep
Even hair.
continuity with shots.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean, hair, scars on the face,
like blood and
Yeah.
dirt and everything. And a lot of times you don't really notice it, but like
because
when
that means
you're
they're doing their
shooting-
job.
yes, yeah, for sure.
That's true.
All right, guys. So, did you like Gandalf the White, and did you like his look in this? And also, Treebeard, really cool animation, but definitely different. Did you like the portrayal of Treebeard in the live action? In this animated live action, in this case, actually animated, or did you like some other depictions of him in artwork? Let us know down below. Check out Picos with a Zero for all of Kyle's awesome Instagram artwork. Check out AsArt, that's basically the audio and video links, and we will see you on the next installation and AsArt.